Welcome to Awakening You channel. If you appreciate what we do, please support us. Thank you. By Patricia Coda Robles. Hi precious heart, thank you for joining us for our weekly vlog. In our last vlog, the beings of light reminded us of how our Father Mother God intended for the law of the circle to work during our earthly lives as we learn to become co-creators with our God parents. This week we are going to learn how the law of the circle affected us in adverse ways once we made the fateful decision to experiment with our intelligent life force in ways that were not based in love. Remember, prior to our tragic decision to misuse our life force, our gift of life flowed forth from our heart flame on electromagnetic currents of energy qualified with positive thoughts, feelings, words, and actions. After completing its involutionary journey into the world of form, our life force began its evolutionary journey back to our heart flame, bringing with it the wonderful experiences that were co-created as the result of our positive behavior. After our life force returned to our heart flame, and we experienced the blessings and the positive results of our actions, our I Am Presence returned that positively qualified energy back to the heart of our Father Mother God. That event completed the law of the circle. When we decided to experiment with our gift of life and began misqualifying the intelligent electronic light substance from our life force with thoughts, feelings, words, and actions that were not based in love, everything changed. That is because our life force can only pass through our heart flame and return to our Father Mother God if it is vibrating with the same or a higher frequency of light than when we originally received it. What the company of heaven want us to clearly understand at this time is what happens to the returning electronic light from our gift of life once it has been misqualified with negative thoughts and feelings. That sacred knowledge is a vitally important part of the bigger picture, and it explains why in the world we are in the mess we are in and why it seems as though terrible things are happening to good people. Thoughts and feelings that are not based in love include anything that does not reflect love, oneness, and reverence for all life. Just for a moment, think about your own life and the things you are witnessing every day in the world. How much of what you are perceiving is reflecting love, oneness, and reverence for all life? If you are like most people, probably not nearly enough. Everything we see that is in any way associated with fear, anxiety, incivility, hatred, judgment, greed, corruption, violence, crime, poverty, abuse of power, war, disease, meanness, disrespect, ignorance, prejudice, religious fanaticism, terrorism, or any other form of pain and suffering is a human miscreation that is not based in love. The energy associated with these human miscreations cannot return to the heart of our Father Mother God once it returns to the heart flame of the person who sent it forth in the first place. So what happens to the grossly mutated electronic light substance that our Father Mother God originally gave to us as our precious gift of life? Well, since that dense and grossly distorted intelligent electronic light cannot return to the heart of God in that form, it manifests in our everyday life experiences in painful ways that allow us to experience the results of our actions. The hope is that we will realize how self-destructive it is for us to misuse our life force, and that we will learn to not do that again. Once the lesson is learned, we have the ability to invoke the violet flame of God's infinite perfection and transmute that misqualified energy back into its original perfection. Then, that portion of our life force can return to the heart of our Father Mother God, thus completing its journey through the law of the circle. The problem is that when this heavy, discordant energy returns to us, it is greatly amplified over what we originally sent out. Like our positive thoughts and feelings, our negative thoughts and feelings also accumulate energy along the way that is vibrating at the same frequency. Like attracts like. On the involutionary journey, our misqualified current of energy enters the space of the person, place, condition, or thing we were thinking of when we sent it forth and creates whatever learning experience is appropriate in that moment. Then on the evolutionary journey back to our heart flame, our current of misqualified energy accumulates more discordant energy along the way. When we observe the horrific things that are happening in the world at this time, it is easy to see why things seem to be so out of proportion. Just look at the tons of negative and fear-based energy that is being expressed by the masses of humanity every single day. All of that energy is reverberating through the atmosphere, and it is being drawn to our own electromagnetic currents of negative thoughts, feelings, words, and actions. With so much pain and suffering in the world, it is truly amazing that we can even get out of bed in the morning with all of the negative energy that is returning to us. Remember, this energy is returning to us from not only this lifetime, but from the hundreds of previous lifetimes we have experienced since our fall from grace. By the time this greatly amplified energy returns to us, it often manifests as all kinds of unrecognizable things. It could manifest as a car accident, a financial challenge, a dysfunctional relationship, a health problem, a family problem, or myriad other things that do not seem like they could possibly be our own miscreations. To complicate the problem even further, for eons of time our fragmented human ego has manipulated us into believing that we are victims and that both the good and the bad things that are happening in our lives are just a coincidence and don't have anything to do with our behavior. This fragmented and fear-based level of our fallen consciousness knew that if we awakened and gave the power it usurped from us back to our I Am presence, it would no longer be able to manipulate us through fear and anxiety. Well, guess what? That is exactly what has happened over the past several years. We are awakening and our I Am presence is once again taking full dominion of our life. Our human ego is no longer in charge. That is what has brought us to this unprecedented moment in time during which we are experiencing the most intensified purging process that humanity has ever been able to withstand. Our I Am presence is pushing hundreds of lifetimes worth of our returning misqualified energy to the surface to be transmuted back into light. That is enabling this precious electronic light substance to return to the heart of our Father Mother God, so that it can complete the law of the circle. We are not being punished for our past transgressions, and this cleansing process would not be occurring at this pace if it was going to cause more harm than good. This unique purging process is being allowed by our Father Mother God because millions of people are now awake and they remember who they are and why they are here. They know what their responsibility is for what is happening on earth at this time, and they remember that they volunteered to transmute lifetimes worth of misqualified energy back into light in what the company of heaven has referred to as the twinkling of an eye. So this week contemplate the challenging things that are returning to you through your daily experiences in order to be healed and transmuted back into light. Ask your I Am presence to help you learn the lessons involved in that returning energy. Then invoke the violet flame of God's infinite perfection to help you quickly transmute the negative energy from your past that is causing those challenging experiences. You have been training for lifetimes so that you will be able to do this, and you have everything you need within you to be God victorious. Trust yourself and know that your I Am presence is in charge. Next week the company of heaven will help you to perceive the progress you are making, even though that progress may not be obvious to you at that moment. God bless you, dear one. And I wish you a powerful week of transmuting past and present negativity by invoking the violet flame.